next big star we're looking at is a company that I'm sure a lot of our viewers would have used at some point to use in their homes. We're talking about Urban Ladder, the online furniture store, and we really have Ashish Goel, its co-founder and CEO, joining us on a day when Future Group bought out its erstwhile rival Fab Furnish. Ashish, thank you so much for coming on ET Now Startup Central. Before I move on to your rivals, I want to ask you about Urban Ladder's own game plan going forward in terms of how you will mine revenues from other categories. What will the logical extensions be for you? Will home decor and interior decor be a big bet for you going forward?
We started the business in 2012, mid-2012, and our vision is to make 1 million Indian homes beautiful. And in that context, the way we thought about it is the first step is to provide access to product. But really speaking, the logical next step, if you think about the consumer's journey, is to complete it with allowing them and helping them put it all together. So really speaking, the way we see it is just a continuum. We started off with providing products, and now we are just taking the logical next step. So that's definitely going to be a big area of focus for us. We expect that to become, the comprehensive home solutioning. I mean, interior designing is one part of it, but comprehensive home solutioning to become as much as 20-25% of our revenues in the next 12 months. And then we'll take it from there.
Ashish, this is Krishna Kumar coming to you from ET Now's Mumbai studios. I want to ask you, some players are moving towards a hybrid strategy. Won't an offline presence then help you gain a larger share of the market, larger traction? Will you also look at it at some point of time in the future?
So, this is a question we have been asked many times. What is interesting is maybe when we were very much smaller business, nobody knew us, nobody knew our product quality, etc., right? Maybe then we should have opened stores, and maybe we were just slow and didn't do it then. But I think the time has passed now. Honestly, in this category, the only thing that a store does is to build trust with the customer. Frankly, you can do nothing. You can achieve little by touching and feeling a bed, really, right? So fundamentally, if you are able to trust a brand, there is actually no barrier to entry for the customer to buy from an online retailer. So that's really our challenge, right? Our question is to continuously up the game on building trust with the customers. So, I mean, we are pretty clear about it. We don't believe that offline stores are really a tremendous strategy, if you will. Honestly, they are, to us, an offline store is more an escape than a strategy.
Right, Ashish, your co-founder Rajiv has been quoted saying that you all will cross the 250 million GMV number by June 2017. What is the maths here? Help us understand how you came up, arrived at that number, and also where you are currently.
So I think we are maybe about give or take 15 months away from getting there. We expect to keep growing roughly about between 10 and 15% a month for the next 12 to 15 months, and I think that should work out to that kind of number. Our sense is, in terms of the sheer number of customers, we should be touching about ballpark about a lakh customers, 75,000 to a lakh customers a month at that point of time. Which, interestingly enough, when you add it up, it literally means that every year we will be impacting and making beautiful the lives of 1 million customers in a year. So in some sense, that's definitely step one of our vision and our journey that we would have completed. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of hard work to be done, but seems possible.
All right, Ashish, I have to ask you this. The recent guidelines on FDI in marketplaces put the spotlight on players who have an inventory-based model. Tell us, how will this affect you as a player, and what about the rule curtailing discounts? Will that affect customer stickiness as well?
So, we actually are rather thrilled that the government has over the last few months. This is one of the clarifications. There's another clarification which came out 2.5 months back, has really clarified how you can run any kind of sort of digital commerce business. As far as the recent clarification on the marketplace side, we actually are quite thrilled with that, because we are, I would say, 120% compliant with the norms and the guidelines the government has put out. So that's great for us. Other sort of thing which we are also evaluating, a few months back the government talked about single brand retail. So I think that's also something we are understanding better and evaluating whether there is merit in us looking at that as a potential business model as well.
Ashish, I opened with Fab Furnish, so I want to ask you, the fact that they've been acquired by Future Group, does that in a sense signal the deeper fault lines that we are seeing in this space, and how is Urban Ladder really going to sustain in the current environment, considering there is an element of caution, funds in late stages have been coming down?
So I will not comment on what happens with competition. Fact is, one should be fairly cognizant. E-commerce is a structurally tough business to build. Anybody who says otherwise is honestly, either they are fooling others or fooling themselves. So I think the Fab Furnish team was a good team. They did a lot of good work. It's just a tough business to build, and I think somewhere having shareholders with different horizons makes life complicated. Different time horizons makes life complicated. So I don't think one should read too much into that. Structurally, e-commerce is a tough business to build. We from a capital management standpoint, we actually are in a fairly good capital position, which I think is super important in this kind of environment. We have I think we are well capitalized for the next at least year and a half, 15 to 18 months, and then I'm pretty sure our business is doing well. So I'm pretty sure that somewhere in the interim, when we need to raise capital, we will raise the right capital from the right people.
All right, Ashish, we'll let it all be. Before we let you go, I wanted to ask you something on the lighter side. Tell us about this curious little job posting that Urban Ladder had for a mattress tester. That's gone viral and sounds like a dream job. I would love to take it up. How many applications did you get?
I think at last round we received about 1,100 applications, and we are still screening the resumes and sort of trying to figure out who can do a good job as mattress tester. But I mean, I guess everybody knows now it was an April Fool's joke, and I think played out quite nicely. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point about doing a startup, right? You can be a little light-hearted, you can have a little bit of fun. So I mean, that's large part of the reason why we are here. So yeah, I think it was fun.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.